I've been waiting for a griddle just like this. This is Weber's brand new 28-inch griddle. Today we're going to be cooking breakfast for dinner, and we're using Weber's brand new 28-inch griddle. We already seasoned it, we already cleaned it, so we're going to get right to the process of cooking. One of the things that we're excited about on this is that you can use this whole griddle top in order to cook. And obviously you could do that with any griddle, but with this one of the best features about it is that there's 3 burners here. And that's going to allow for even temperature distribution all throughout this griddle, and I'm really excited to see how this works. Next up, we're going to start grilling up some veggies. We're going to be putting these on top of our hash browns in just a little bit. The kids aren't going to like these, but they're going to be great for the wife and I. So we're going to let that go for just a few minutes. We're also going to go ahead and we're going to hit these veggies with a little bit of that Killer Hogs AP seasoning right over top. Bacon's looking great, but I'm going to go ahead and start flipping it already. And yeah, you can see that that bacon is cooking pretty evenly. Maybe right here there's a little bit less heat than it is on the rest, but other than that, the majority, 90% of this bacon is cooking really, really nice. Vegetables are smelling really, really good. And just for everybody at home, we do have all of these burners on a medium heat. We're cooking breakfast today, and I definitely don't like cooking anything on too high of a heat. Sometimes I like to cook my pancakes a little bit higher. I like those crispy edges at times, but today, with the kids eating, we gotta play it safe. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and throw our hash browns down here. I'm just gonna try and spread them evenly all the way to the edge, back up on those veggies just a little bit, kind of spread them out a little bit. And we're just gonna let those go for a few minutes. I'm also gonna hit the top of these with a little bit of that AP. So I did want to talk about a few things when it comes to this Weber 28-inch griddle. First things first, they did send it to us for free. I just want to throw that out there. You guys should know by now that we are affiliated with Weber, but if you don't, just know that they did send us this for free. There are also a lot of things that I love about this griddle. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the 2 side tables here. So on my last griddle, I only had one, and it doesn't seem like a big deal, but in reality, it is so nice to have that second table here because you could put all of your stuff that you're cooking up here at once. And with this griddle, I've noticed that it doesn't get too hot on these tables to where I'm really worried about the ingredients up there. On my last one, I was actually always worried that I was either going to melt a bottle of oil, I was going to start cooking something a little bit too early, like if there was eggs there, they're going to start cooking just from the heat. And this one seems to be keeping that heat right on the griddle and having a very, very, very even distribution. Now also, there's 3 burners on this. On every 28-inch griddle that I've had, there's only been 2. And that's where you're getting that even distribution of that heat. And I think that so far, I've already proved to myself that this thing is going to work really, really well throughout the whole griddle. And the last thing that I love about this is the grease hole. So on my last griddle, the grease hole was in the back, so I had to push everything to the back, and it was a small grease trap in there. This one is actually right here on the bottom left-hand corner of this griddle, and it has a large pan that's under it. That just makes for a very, very, very easy cleanup. One of the things I was always worried about was hitting that back grease trap over and causing a mess all over my yard, all over the concrete, and I promise you it happened many, many times. So now I'm going to go ahead and half my hash browns here just because, like I told you guys earlier, half of these are going to my kids. They don't like the veggies that we're going to be putting in here. And I'm just going to pull the smaller half over for them. It already feels like these are coming together pretty nice. You can see they're moving pretty good together. So I'm getting a nice crust on the bottom of that. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to make sure that everything is moving around pretty good. I'm going to try and get under here. And I'm going to flip. Boom. Okay, so that crust is looking pretty dang good. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to hit the top of this with my veggies. Right over top. Boom. I'm going to utilize this grease trap here. Boom. Get some of that out of there. And then I'm going to move these over to kind of sit in that bacon grease a little bit. Again, I think the wife and I are going to really like that. The kids, maybe not so much, so we'll be safe with theirs. The wife and I are also going to get some cheese on top of our hash browns, melt all over, trap them delicious veggies in there. I'm going to use my 2 Weber ring molds here to make some eggs for the kiddos. Don't really have to use the mold, but Today I wanted to use it just so I can make sure that everything stays there, doesn't run off and mess up with anything else. You don't necessarily have to use these ring molds, but I just wanted to do it so I could scramble the egg right here and make sure that it doesn't mess with anything else. A little AP right over top. Whoa, wind is going crazy. Get my mold out of there now. Eggs are done just a few seconds later. They cook really quick on this griddle. Gonna throw down a couple of over easy eggs here for the wife and I. Of course, we'll hit it with some AP right over top. While that's going, we're gonna start some pancakes. This is a new device that I've never tried before, so if I mess up, my bad. But this is really cool. Makes me feel like I'm working at a restaurant for sure. I think I did pretty good there. Just a few seconds later, I'm gonna go ahead and flip my eggs and season the backside. Now we're gonna start flipping our pancakes. Not the best flip I've ever had, but it's gonna do. Oh yes, sir. I'm gonna flip the kids' hash browns just to see where they're at, and if this side's looking good, then I know that this one's good. Oh yeah, that looks really good. It's gonna be a nice crunchy and I bet tender bite. So for me personally, this is the best griddle that I've ever had. Now, obviously I did get this griddle for free, but I was not asked to say anything just because I got it for free. I was asked to give my honest opinion, and my honest opinion is that the even temperature all throughout the griddle is just amazing. You guys could see it. I was using the whole thing and everything was cooking pretty dang well. I also like the two side tables, which I mentioned earlier, and I think that that really truly is one of my favorite things about this griddle. The other thing, it might seem small, but there's handles here. There's hooks here for your grill accessories. On the last griddle that I had, there was not any of those. There was an attachment that you could buy that was extra, but this one is coming standard with that. So those few things are really truly just making this the best griddle that I've ever had. That's after one cook, and I can honestly tell you that I love it. Again, that grease tray is just a really cool and intuitive way to get the grease out of your way and not have to worry about it. Now, I do have a griddle top here that's going to protect my griddle, but you do want to make sure that you're cleaning this after every single cook. If there's anything you want to see specifically on this grill, let me know. If you have any questions about any of the features, please let me know. We can obviously do a follow-up video. As always, we really appreciate you guys tuning into this video. Thanks. It's time to eat dinner. We'll see you on the next one.